What if I told you that I had a pill that could change your body composition from obese to normal permanently? What if I told you that this pill could also increase your body lean mass? Naturally, this would give you a longer, healthier life, right? How much would you be willing to pay for it? As it turns out, you can reach the same goals without spending, in fact, saving some money. As I reach my 69th birthday and my 16th year in OMAD, it's time to review its benefits. I have been saying that I eat one meal a day every day of my life. But is this something you should consider? What about other TRE methods? This year, 2025, a scientific review article entitled The Cyclic Metabolic Switching Theory of Intermittent Fasting was published by Mattson from Johns Hopkins University. Mattson reviews the benefits of intermittent fasting in health and disease. These benefits have been shown in numerous rodent studies and an increasing number of randomized clinical trials in humans. Intermittent fasting confers health benefits beyond those due to caloric restriction. Even without altering the macronutrient content of the person's diet, intermittent fasting offers many health benefits. Since I started this channel, I have been reporting on the science of intermittent fasting. Time-restricted eating, or TRE, is a modality of intermittent fasting that includes OMAD, one meal a day. The reason TRE works as a means to reduce obesity starts with the metabolic switch, which begins at 12 to 14 hours of fasting. By reducing the number of our meals, we stop relying on glucose from food as a source of energy. The glycogen stores in the liver are rapidly depleted by 12 hours of fasting in humans. Then, we begin to mobilize our own body fat for energy. Fatty acids are metabolized into ketones, which are then used for energy. If we fast routinely, we begin to cycle between ketogenic and non-ketogenic states. Mattson explains that during the metabolic challenge period, whether through fasting, exercise, or both, adaptive cellular stress response pathways are activated. Let's call this period catabolism for simplicity. Then, during the recovery period, which includes eating, resting, and sleeping, cell growth and plasticity pathways are engaged. Let's call this period anabolism. These opposing cellular signaling pathways during fasting and exercise versus recovery periods interact in a coordinated, reciprocal manner. With this metabolic cycling between catabolism and anabolism over periods of weeks, months, and years, intermittent fasting and exercise progressively enhance health and resilience. Randomized clinical trials in active people of healthy weights show that intermittent fasting can improve health indicators and boost physical performance. First, in young healthy men, combining TRE with resistance training results in greater gains in upper and lower body strength. Second, other studies also combine TRE with resistance training in young active women. Without caloric restriction, but with protein supplementation, TRE and training promote skeletal muscle hypertrophy and fat loss. Third and final, even in endurance athletes, TRE does not adversely affect and might even enhance performance. From my perspective, none of these findings are surprising. I have conserved and increased my endurance and lean body mass over the years, well into my late 60s. In my case, after a short period of adaptation to OMAD, I found an increase in my endurance and in the intensity and performance during my exercises. Whether while hiking, calisthenics, or tennis, I found a greater desire to persevere for at least an hour a day. The science shows that fasting and exercise achieve the same goal of activating the cellular adaptive pathways. I believe that is my experience too, after 16 years of OMAD. Autophagy is an intracellular process by which damaged proteins and organelles are moved into lysosomes and destroyed. The component amino acids and membrane lipids are then recycled. Autophagy is stimulated by extended fasting while mTOR is inhibited. mTOR pathway opposes autophagy. The mTOR pathway is stimulated by food intake and enhances cellular nutrient uptake and protein synthesis. The research on autophagy and mTOR are consistent with the notion of repeating cycles of fasting and feeding. These cycles enhance health by preventing the accumulation of damaged cellular components while promoting cell growth and improving organ function. The ketone beta-hydroxybutyrate, or BHB, is released into the blood from hepatocytes. Increasing evidence indicates that BHB acts on cells throughout the body and brain to bolster their function and resilience. This makes sense from an evolutionary perspective. That is because the metabolic switch to ketosis marks the beginning of food deprivation. For our hunter-gatherer ancestors, survival during food deprivation depended on energy efficiency, but also on the heightened mental and physical performance. BHB could be called a fastokine since it mediates the adaptations to fasting. BHB regulates gene expressions and protein functions. 1. It upregulates genes that enhance oxidative stress resistance. 2. It regulates genes that suppress atherosclerosis. 3. It stimulates the production of neurotrophic factors. 4. It can suppress inflammation. 5. It activates CD8 plus T effector cell responses to bacterial infections and tumor challenges. CD8 plus T cells are known as cytotoxic lymphocytes, a subtype of white blood cells. These cells are the effectors of cellular immunity. They neutralize cells infected by intracellular organisms and/or cancer cells. They inoculate target cells with toxic enzymes that cause their destruction. In short, these effects on immune function could explain the effectiveness of intermittent fasting in combating infections and suppressing cancers. Also, BHB induces the expression of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, in neurons, which might enhance synaptic plasticity and neurogenesis in response to exercise. This video does not cover all the points made in this article, so it would be worthwhile to look at the article in detail. I merely want to point out that science is finding more and more benefits of intermittent fasting. Long ago, I found benefits in repeating my OMAD every day of my life. Now we know that this cycling renews our cells constantly. As we age, we need to restore ourselves to maintain or even increase our physical and mental performance and endurance.
Resisting or even avoiding the chronic diseases of aging would assure longevity. Now we know that these benefits are within our reach, without spending, in fact saving a little money every day. Aging with health and fitness is why I say that life is looking up. Thank you.